Forensic report on the death of Enock Mpianzi has found that the school and teachers were guilty of gross negligence. The 13-year-old Parktown Boys High School pupil drowned during an orientation camp for grade 8 pupils in January. Investigators say one of their findings was that an incorrect roll call was taken at the camp. They also found that the school's governing body breached its duty of care. That's in relation to the approval of the school trip. That report being released by the Education MEC Benyaza Lesufi on Wednesday night.
Only at 12:45 on Thursday that it is found that Enock Mpianzi is actually missing. So we find that there is negligence on the part of the school in not having the accurate and correct roll call list of all attendees at that camp, and that the relevant educators should be held responsible and charged. And that includes the headmaster as the ultimate, as the sort of commander-in-chief or the CEO of the school. The fact is that if the correct roll call list had been used, they would have realized 18 hours earlier that a boy was missing, and search attempts could have been activated. In fact, that's only really happens. The emergency rescue procedures, the farmers, the 300 farmers going up and down the river, the spotter plane, the drones, the searches, the police, only really commences in the afternoon of Thursday. Whereas if the correct roll call list had been used, they would have realized that he was missing at 5:30 the previous day, right after the water exercise. It may well be that he may already have been deceased at that point, but that is speculation because we don't know when that took place.
Well, the report has further recommended that Parktown Boys High School's principal face disciplinary action along with the educators.
The principal, Mr. Williams, should be the subject of disciplinary action as the CEO or headmaster of the school in relation to the issue of roll calls, the accuracy of the roll call list, the issue of safety and care of learners, life jackets, the issue of authorization, and so on. And largely the same with the educators, although their disciplinary charges which we recommend relate to the issue of safety and care of learners during the water exercise, the issue of life jackets for grade 8 learners, and lack of control of the learners. The school we found to have been negligent, if not reckless, in allowing the water exercise to go ahead when the educators knew from the agenda that the activity would end with a river swim. It relates to the issue of life jackets. It relates to the control and the duty of care of the educators. And we find similarly the SGB in relation to allowing the camp to take place without authorization. It was behaved improperly, and they should have also ensured that there were the proper safety measures for the camp.
Well, that report has not only made adverse findings against Parktown Boys High, it's also found that the owner of Nyati Bush and Riverbreak Lodge, the manager, in fact, Anton Knutzer, provided misleading evidence about the depth of the river where Enock Mpianzi drowned. Take a listen.
When we conducted the inspection in Loka on the 24th of January 2020, Mr. Knutzer said to us that the level of the river was a meter higher on the 24th than it had been on the 15th of January, which is when the water exercise with the learners took place. We then, during the course of our investigation, we looked at various photographs with a close eye, and we scrutinized them, and we found the following. Now this is a picture of the group of learners on the day of the incident that was taken by a teacher. So that's on the 15th of January. Now if you note the white mark on that's ringed on the pipe, as well as the X on the concrete, you'll see the level of the river. In the picture that we took in the inspection in Loka, you'll see the same white, and you'll see really much the same amount of concrete, i.e. the level of the river on the day of the inspection in Loka and the day of the exercise is much the same. So we found that the evidence given to us by Mr. Knutzer that the river was a meter low, which is quite an amount, actually, on the day of the water exercise was misleading and false.